thing about moving to Costa Rica?
Ask me that one.
Do you ever plan on having children in the future?
Yes, I would like to have children. When I was younger, I was like, I'm definitely not going to have kids. I'm an environmentalist. Our whole problem with climate change is overpopulation. The only reason climate change is a thing is because there's too many people, humans, using fossil fuels. If there was 1 billion people on the planet, I'm sure we could use fossil fuels and eat meat, and honestly, we probably wouldn't have an impact on the planet, but we have so many people, so that's the problem. So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely never have kids. And then as I got older, I was like, oh, I want the experience of having kids. That's starting to feel right to me. So I was like, all right, I'm only gonna adopt kids. And now as I even get older, I see the reason that I would want, and I just feel it within me emotionally, that experience of actually creating a child with your genetics. So at this point, I think I want to have children. I know I want to have children of my own, and I'd also be 100% open to adopting if my partner and I thought that that was the best choice for us environmentally and for the world. But having kids, 100%, whether it's adopting or having them, I want to be a dad. I want to have many kids, and I want to raise them on my fruit farm. And I don't want to put them through the educational traditional system when they're young. I want them to make that choice for themselves when they're like older, maybe 10, 11, 12, 13 if they want to go to school, but I will not send them to school, or hopefully if my partner's cool with that, before that age. And so what will I teach them? I'll teach them all the same stuff. How to read the best books, just not some of the bullshit books that your teachers in a school will teach your kids. And I'll teach them math, and I'll teach them real history about corruption and colonization and racism and all that stuff. And I'll teach them about climate change and science and how to grow food and how to practice yoga, healthy relationship styles, self-love. I mean, my school, which is gonna be on my farm to my kids, is gonna be, in my opinion, better than any school out there. Because I'll only have a couple students and I'll be the teacher, and I make YouTube videos and grow my own food and live on the land for my money. So I just want my full-time job to be teaching my kids the dopest shit. And then when they're old enough to communicate that they're like, hey, we want to get off the farm and we want to go to school, then they can go to school when they're old enough to communicate that. But I think to just send a kid in school and they're like 5 into kindergarten and just get them indoctrinated in this system, like strangers who aren't your family, and they're disciplining you, and it does not resonate with me. I never liked it as a kid, so I'm not going to do that to my kids. You want to have kids? Dylan's, let's also, before you answer that, Dylan is, how old are you?
20.
20? You must be almost 21 at this point.
September, I turned 21. All
right, Dylan's freaking 20, which is insane. I'm 27, so we're in different places in life. So yeah, what do you think about having kids?
I definitely want kids one day, but definitely not right now. Not for a while. Like, I'm still getting in the flow of, like, you know, becoming a man and like becoming accountable for my life, and it's hard enough to do that for myself, let alone like a partner or children. So that just seems like a lot for me right now.
But if you're a lucky lady watching this and you want to date Dylan, slide into his DMs. Maybe you'll be living with us in Costa Rica. Just putting it out there. Let's answer some questions from the live stream. These questions we've been answering are from Instagram that I asked today, and people have just been sending me throughout the day. Let's see. People ask what happened to Alyssa, my friend Alyssa, who I traveled with. She ended her own life like a year ago or something like that. She suffered from family abuse, depression, super sad, but she chose to do that, and that was a big grieving process a year ago. But I'm pretty, it still haunts me for sure, but I'm good. It happens. I've had so much death in the last like 15 months, like a large number of family members, friends. It was super weird, but always a good experience, because death is as real as it gets, and it's happening to all of us. I'm a Jewish vegan too, but I'm from New York. Hello, Joey Strong Island. Dylan's from New York, and Dylan's half Jewish too. From Texas. I think you answered this before, but when did your cycling adventures, was Maggie vegan? Yes, Maggie's always been vegan. I mean, she's not 100% vegan. I give both my dogs raw eggs these days, now that I live in a stable community. I have friends that have hens that truly just run around, and I'll trade like granola or kombucha I make with them for some eggs for the dogs. But other than eggs, that's the only animal product that my dogs eat now. Every day they eat like very cooked well and then blended lentils, garbanzos, or black beans with coconut oil, ground flaxseed, a raw egg, and then I cook down rice, sweet potato, and pumpkin down really well, and I mush all that together and give it to them. I have the healthiest, most beautiful, obedient, wonderful off-leash dogs in the world, so don't hate, because I just know my dogs are more glorious than yours. They're always by our side. Maggie has that shoe in her mouth because I gave her that shoe as a toy. It was a couch surfer's sandal that they left here, but she never picks up shoes. She doesn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
She's a human. And yes, on the trip, she was 100% vegan because I didn't have like a local egg source being on the road, going into new places. So Maggie ate beans, tortillas, coconut oil, veggie oil, bread, peanut butter, but a lot of beans, a lot of pumpkin, sweet potato, rice, flaxseed, coconut oil. That's the base of her diet. Hell yeah. All right, no more questions there, so we can go back to yeah, ask me more in the live stream if you want us to answer them, or we'll go back to the Instagram questions we got before. Jackson, what made you transfer from weightlifting to endurance training? I wouldn't say I'm doing endurance training. I actually, for the first time in my life, and it makes sense because I'm living somewhere, I'm building a house, I'm planting trees. This is like, you know, I'm not just a college student or a traveler anymore. I actually have no fitness aspirations beyond what I'm at right now. I'm not training for a marathon. I'm not training to get stronger. I do yoga every single day. I walk, not run, with my dogs like 3 miles in the mountains every morning. And then like twice a week or 3 times a week, I'll do like 20-30 minutes of calisthenics. I'll do push-ups, handstands, pull-ups on a tree, and that's where I'm at. So one day I want to run 100 miles, so I am going to have to train endurance for an ultra run, but right now I'm just chilling, just active lifestyle, and it feels so good. Yeah. All right, questions, Dill.
Yeah, I got a question on here I want to answer.
Good.
Any tips on how to manifest a life of traveling or sustainable farming? And I don't know much about sustainable farming, but with traveling, I just kind of like had a dream about going somewhere, and I bought a ticket to that place, and I just went to that place. And people really make it seem so complicated, but it's really that easy.
You didn't have a job set up.
I didn't
you
know
didn't have
what
tons
I was
of
gonna
friends.
do.
Nothing.
I literally just bought a one-way ticket to the place that I wanted to
Hawaii,
go.
right?
To Hawaii. I just landed
He's
there.
from New York.
I landed in the airport, and
It's like 10 hours of travel, huh?
Yeah.
10 hours of plane. That's far.
I didn't know where I was gonna stay the first night, but I ended up staying there for like 2 months or a month and a half, and yeah, things just work out. So.
And then I hit him up and asked him to be my assistant / friend helper, and now he's here in Costa Rica.
Yes.
I mean, Dylan's perfect example of the less you plan, the more you ride the wave, and just like make one executive decision, then just let the world,
Yeah.
you know, and have good intentions. Like, and I mean, think about me. When I biked into every country that I've biked through, and I've biked across 15 countries, I didn't know anyone in the country. I had no arrangements planned. Like when I bike into Mexico and El Salvador and Guatemala, even crossing the border, I have no idea where I'm gonna sleep that night, what I'm gonna do. And you watch my YouTube videos, all I do is have the best experiences. So a lot of travel is just like, what are you traveling for? If your intention for traveling is being in the fanciest places at the best restaurants and like having the best tourist tours, yeah, you gotta plan that or else you'll have a bad time. My intention to travel was to soak up the natural experiences of the world and to experience something I couldn't even imagine. And because I would just set up my tent in a small village sometimes, then a family that I could have never arranged to meet would say, hey, you want to sleep in our house? And then I'm drinking beers and talking to this random Guatemalans and staying there for a week. So for me, the richest experiences have been times where you don't plan it. You do a little bit of planning and leave a lot of room for spontaneity.
Yeah, so true. Couldn't agree more. You want to talk about how to manifest the sustainable farm?
Yeah, WOOF, WWOOFF or whatever, Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms is a website and an app, and you can go do work trade on any farm around the world. Just sign up for WOOF. It costs like 15, 20 bucks to get the catalog for an entire country, and it's all over the world. And then you go through the farms and see which one resonates with you, and then you send them a message, and if they say yes and accept you, you go and work like 4 or 5 hours, probably 5 hours a day. I've done it multiple times in exchange for room and board, and you can do that for free forever if you want. So go WOOF, go work on an organic farm. I've done it many times. Go get it done.
Yeah.
Use the internet.
Yeah. The
Or come and work for me. I need people who know about a little bit about gardening, permaculture, to come and work for me. So if you want to come and stay in a simple cabina and hang out with us and help build the vision, plant trees, and garden, hit me up and I'll see if you fit the bill for us.
Yeah. This is a weird one. Do you ever have any problem to identify your sexuality?
No. I'm straight as fuck. Just so happened that way. I have family members who are gay, queer, trans, everything you can imagine. And I love all my queer, gay, trans family and friends, but I am straight man. I've made out with one man before, and it was my best friend Jason when we were like 16, and it was in front of like 20 friends in a truth or dare, and we full-on tongue made out for like 10 seconds. So that wasn't an actual sexual experience. It was just a truth or dare with a friend. But no, I've never had a sexual experience with a dude or have been interested in it. I just like women sexually. So no. And I'm privileged to be that way. You know, I have a lot of friends and family who I don't want to say have struggled with their sexuality, but it's just more fluid and confusing, and there's so much prejudice and motherfuckers in this world that it must be hard when your sexuality is different or not the most mainstream. So no, mine is quite standard, straight. I mean, when you really think about it, I won the Privilege Olympics. I am a straight, tall, white, financially privileged, love privileged man from Los Angeles.
Wow.
Pretty privileged. I guess the only thing that's a little bit unprivileged is that I'm super Jewish, so a lot of my family line died in the Holocaust. They lived in Poland, and a few of them got out and moved to New York, and that's why I'm alive right now, but a lot of my bloodline died in the 40s. A lot of my great-grandparents' siblings. But that doesn't really count, because it wasn't a part of my human experience. I've never been like, I've never had Jewish prejudice. No one's, you know, yeah. Like people who are of color or queer or whatever probably have prejudice all the time in their lives. I've never felt prejudice for being Jewish.
Yeah. Yeah, no, same here. I'm a straight male.
Dylan's a gay man. Very gay man.
I'm a straight male, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh.
Straight white male. The worst person.
You identify as white?
My father's white, yeah, so
Yeah.
I kind of have to.
You don't look white.
Definitely not.
You're not white. I think if, well, you obviously are white. You are whatever you want to be, but you're also a person of color.
Yeah, and my mom's El Salvadorian, so.
Yeah, you're both.
Yeah, but if someone just looks at me, they're gonna judge me, obviously. And
They would judge you as a person of color.
yeah, exactly.
Just someone on the
And I don't
street.
mind that. I like that.
Of course.
I love being a person of color.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just more interesting life experience.
Yeah.
When you have multiple things going on in your genetics, different cultural backgrounds.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, that question, I don't know. I've never had a problem identifying my sexuality. And I don't know what it's like to have a problem with that.
Yeah, that must be crazy.
Yeah, I didn't, as a kid, I didn't think you could have a problem with that.
What do you mean?
A problem identifying your sexuality?
Right. Yeah. A lot of things are confusing as a kid.
Yeah.
Then you, as you get older, you see how complicated and messy and beautiful the world is. Do you have any more questions from Instagram?
Not really, just love your videos and I'm inspired by what you're doing for the planet. Follow me, I'll follow you back. Human intention. We're reaching out to you to invite you to join a good human movement. How's your family doing?
Great.
What's up, bro?
Is that Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Christian. All right, let's go strictly to Instagram Live now. We'll answer those few more and then shut down the video. We got, but you grow a lot at school. I remember from your vlogs, so now you can pass your experiences to your future children. School has good and not good at the same time. I totally agree. School's awesome because you have to learn how to work really hard at things you don't always have to do. You get to meet a diverse amount of people, but I think a lot of people, when they hear that I'm gonna like homeschool or unschool my kids, they think they're gonna be like sitting in a chair in the living room by themselves. We're gonna travel the world with our kids. We're gonna have couch surfers and workers from all over the world on the farm. I think my kids are gonna have a more expanded experience than if they went to school. It's not gonna be some weird ass rural American weird homeschool situation. No.
Yeah, and I think people that say, oh, you're never gonna use this subject in school, I think that's some bullshit, because like, even if you never use something in the real world, it helps your cognitive function and it helps you think, so that's just an excuse.
Mattis also asks, have you ever been to Israel? Yes, I have been to Israel. I went to Israel with my Jewish temple because I was raised Jewish. When I was 16, I went to Israel. My temple took like 20 other kids my age, and we went on like a 30-day tour. It was awesome. I love the people of Israel and loved my time in Israel. I fucking hate the Israeli government. They're war criminals. They're the U.S.'s best friend. Just so many war crimes to Palestinians. I don't believe in Benjamin Netanyahu and his practices. So I hate the Israeli government, but love the Israeli people and my time in Israel. And hopefully there can be a two-state solution instead of Israel just trying to occupy the territory of the Palestinians, who have been there far longer than the Israelis, which is a very new concept. What do you think about polyamory? Milan Idp says. Dylan, what do you think?
I think that a lot of people confuse polyamory with lust and wanting to have sex with other people.
Is that bad?
I didn't say it was bad.
Okay.
Just don't call it polyamory. Just call it like you want to sleep around. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So what's polyamory? Define it for you.
Polyamory is having a intimate relationship with multiple people,
Right.
and being there and present for those multiple people, and not just like walking out on them whenever you get bored of their sexual experiences.
Totally. So it's like, I have a girlfriend, Natalia, and we are committed to each other, and we sleep in the same bed, and we check in with each other, and we're there for each other more than I am there for other people, because I love her. So polyamory is as if if Dylan was my partner as well, and I had to check in with him and like share deep emotional things with him and have sex with him. And that sounds wild to me. I think it's great if that's what you're into. I have a lot of friends that are into that. I don't ever see that as a part of my human experience. It does. I have so many interpersonal things going on. I can't imagine or even wanting to have a relationship with another person. But I'll get freaky and be honest here. It's hard for me to imagine only ever having sex with one other person forever. And that's just like, it's just a very biological, fundamental thought. I've met a lot of women who agree and can't imagine that either, but I do have to say, and it makes sense biologically, men are a bit more programmed to want to have a lot of different diverse sexual experiences, whereas I think women are a bit more programmed to not be as curious in that way, because, and here's some like biological proof. With the male reproductive system, I can go and have sex with like 3 women a day for the rest of my life and maybe impregnate them, and like impregnate women every single day. That's how our balls work. We're always making it. A woman, if she wanted to have as many babies as possible, you can have like one every 9 to 12 months. So it makes sense.
But they only have so many eggs.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we have an unlimited amount.
We have unlimited till we're like in our 50s or 60s or something like that. So
if you're healthy, probably.
Yeah, so I get how, like I don't feel bad that I feel like a sexual being and I get attracted by women all the time and think about having sex with them. That's just biological shit. And oh, internet went out.
Oh shit.
No, it's fine. I mean,
Okay,
that's
cool.
filming for YouTube. It's coming back. It's just the live stream. Let's see if any tabs are open. Yes. All
This
right.
is still recording?
Yeah, it's still recording. That's the YouTube video.
Quick segue about sexuality. I just posted a new video about nofap and pornography.
Oh, nice.
Stay away from it, guys.
I enjoy pornography sometimes. I mean, now that I have a partner, it's not at the front of my mind, but yeah, in the past for sure.
We all have, man.
Yeah. But it hasn't brought me any negativity in my life. Like, I've been watching porn.
So you think. Could be subconscious.
Dude, I've had the most amazing relationships, don't have a sex addiction. I'm not addicted to porn when I was watching porn, when I'm like alone and traveling.
You might not see it as like a bad thing, but it desensitizes your brain to like nudity or...
Yeah, mosquito. Yeah, that could actually be a good thing. A lot of guys have trouble. I have not had this trouble, but like coming too fast.
Oh, okay. I see.
And sometimes watching porn can make you come slower with an actual woman, and that could benefit some people. I think porn is not good or bad. It's just how the person uses it.
I think porn is bad. I think it makes you over-sexualize every experience you have.
That's so relative. Over-sexualized. Sex is not bad. It's a beautiful thing in this human experience to
okay,
enjoy.
but if you're like in a job interview, you don't have to sexualize your boss or something, you know? You don't have to like fantasize about that every single.
But you can
moment.
and not execute on it, and it can just be a fun thing that you're just thinking in your head about sex. That's fine.
I see it as obsessive, and whether you like it
so
or
is
not.
it just as bad as when women watch porn as men? Because there's a lot of women who watch porn.
No, I'm saying
make
people.
Porn.
I'm not saying men. Like humans that watch porn, it affects their mind in this way.
I feel you. I think it's generally better to watch less of it than more of it.
Or just have sex for real.
Yeah.
It's like a total like cuck thing. Like you're watching some guy have sex with another girl when you could go do that yourself. Or
because dude, when you're in your college dorm room or whatever, and you have to study, and you're a biological human, and you want to fuck, and maybe you don't have a partner right then, and you don't want to go out and try to build a relationship, and you want to jerk off and watch porn. Who cares?
I just think you don't have to act on it every single time you have the thought. You could go study. You could go all the time you spent masturbating or watching porn. You could like start a business.
Dude, when I would watch porn and masturbate, it'd be like a 10-minute activity. Get it done.
That's 10 minutes.
Continue
you could put towards. That's like.
Oh, you're Mr. Wasting time 10 minutes
push-ups.
at a time.
I know, but it's not on porn.
Dude, 10 minutes of your day dedicated to something that you want to do to relieve yourself, I think is totally fine. It's almost like, I'm even going to say it's almost like meditation. It's so different. Meditation is so different and it's so healthy for you, but also just seeing two people have sex and jerking off. And so you, like, dude, you know this. After you come, especially after a guy, you're super not thinking about sex. You're very like satisfied. You're like, okay.
Post-nut clarity.
Yes.
But that's because it's not a good thing. That's because you're like, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? I could have done something else.
No, after I nut, I'm like no longer thinking about sex all the time, and I can actually get shit done.
I don't think we should look at it as like a...
But let's go back to polyamory. So what I was saying is, even though I can't imagine myself right now only ever like seeing one woman naked and being able to touch one woman for the rest of my life, because I'm so interested and love my like building a good relationship with one person, and I'm not interested in polyamory in terms of like having multiple partners, I think if I were to ever expand, you know, beyond just a monogamous thing sexually, it would have to be after years of building a very, very strong foundation with one person, so that if then after years we were both comfortable and we both at that time wanted to see other people naked and have fun in just some wild, fun sexual ways, then we would talk about if we were comfortable to do that. But if my partner wasn't, I'm very satisfied with a monogamous relationship, much more than I would be interested in opening it up polyamorously.
Yeah.
All right, Mattis says, I think porn is felt fine as long as we don't know the people, but as soon as that person's sister, mother, or brother of yourself or someone you know, then it becomes weird to watch. I've never had that experience of having family members producing porn, so lucky
yeah,
for
that's
me.
a super specific example.
Yeah, I don't think most people have that experience.
Yeah, that would be weird, man.
Yeah, if you were just scrolling through and you saw your mom
oh,
on there.
gosh.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but like,
I don't care, but I just wouldn't click that video.
yeah, it would totally turn me off.
All right, we're about to shut down the live stream unless anyone with these 7 people watching on Instagram want to ask us a question, then we will answer it. If not, we'll shut it down. Thank you, everybody. Much love. Dream extreme. Peace. That was a good one, huh?
Yeah. I bet these YouTube viewers love these behind the scenes.